So, Shalom, Shalom. Start by saying Barakatham, Yahweh Bashin Yahweh, right? And I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the hopeful left all done and for the 4,000, Shalom. So, find the precept right quick. Really, as I was watching, I went and watched a little bit of Elder Pastor Gabar lesson, and we'll finish it on my breaks at work, and I'm also finish the lesson I was watching with Elder Matazakbot, right? Some guy saying need to lead these groups, calling them crazy names, but you know, but in the subject, right, in the subject matter, right, the spirit came upon me, right, because I'm watching the Elder videos and praying the Most High, bring the spirit upon me to, to to get this lesson done, right? To get the lesson done before I start getting ready for work. And yeah, you know, as I'm watching the lessons, right? Elder Pastor Gabar brought out a good lesson. Yeah. And Elder Pastor Gabar, Elder Pastor Gabar brought out a good precept, man, say that excuse me for that. I'm actually read, but it's crazy because as I started watching Elder my Zopbot, like, and spirit hit me like, oh yeah, definitely get that done. Cause it's like, man, they walk in darkness, man. These 2/3, these zombied out, these zombified people, man, these people who lost now in the spirit, man, they walk in darkness. You know, people who don't walk in these scriptures, right? Who don't walk out the ways of Yahweh, they walk in darkness, man. And for one, they walk in darkness for being blind, right, to the knowledge, but also we know this kingdom is full of darkness, right? Well, Revelation 16:10, right? It says the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness. Beast is a so-called white man, Esau Edom, right? It says we live in the kingdom of darkness in a white man kingdom. Darkness is basically what? Sin, right? So if you go here, right, Revelation 17:2, right, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of a fornication, right? Goes into, fornication is sin, right? Christians gonna tell you fornication is when you have sex without married, but you gotta understand sex is marriage, man, right? Adultery is, right, when a man lay down with a woman, she has a man, or a woman lay down with another man when she has a man, right? But as a man, right, that's less from the day, but as a man, you can have more than one wife. When you lay down with that, long as that woman ain't betrothed, at Exodus 22:16, long as that woman ain't betrothed, right, being belonging to another man, that means when you lay down with her, right, she belongs to you, right? But that's no lesson for another day. I actually, Elder Pastor Hart got a lesson up of that. Actually, I need to say that to my wife later so I can watch that. Lord, the spirits come upon me to get a lesson done in that category. Well, willingly, right? But get back to it, man. This kingdom is darkness, man, and the inhabitants of the earth are drunk in that. The inhabitants of the earth follow their ways. The inhabitants of the earth, that's what they do. They walk in darkness. They follow after the ways of Esau Edom, man, right? And they have no knowledge. They have no knowledge to do good, right? Even though these scriptures, these scriptures are being broke down right in front of their face, the truth is going out to the world through the internet. You got the prophets, you got the teachers, right? The elders in this truth, through the spirit of Habashah Shah, the apostles GMS who rule well, right? They blatantly ignore it, man, and they walk after the ways of darkness, right? So another quick precept, right quick. This one that Elder Pastor Gabar had brought out, but Isaiah 60, right? Let's start at verse 1, right? It says, "Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the The glory of the Lord Yahweh is all caps, right? The glory of the Lord Yahweh is risen up upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be upon thee, right? It says, and the Gentiles shall come to thy light, right? Who's those Gentiles? Those Gentiles are those Israelites in the foreign state of mind, right? It says, and the keen to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather, excuse me for that. All they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy son shall come from afar, thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Then shalt thou see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged. Right? Because these people don't understand the power of Yahweh Shem Shai. But when they come out that darkness, right? You know, when they come out that darkness, right? And you know, we know the elect, you know, the elect was one Gentiles too, but they came out their dark ways, right? They returned back to Yahweh Shem Shai. But the Gentiles who stuck in that foreign state of mind, right? Those Israelites who stuck in that foreign state of mind, I meant to say, who continually follow after that and walk in the ways of darkness, walk in the ways of Babylon, right? They're gonna fear, man. You know, because if you had to fear Yahweh Shem Shai, you return back right now. You know? And it's a clear case that they don't have the fear, man. It's clear they don't have the fear of Yahweh Shem Shai. They still out here roaming and doing whatever. They're understanding his power, man. Understanding that he can wrap their ass up at any moment. Judgment can hit their ass at any moment, man. That's why, you know, me and the brother, I talked to one of the lessons yesterday talking about, you know, when the Most High correct you, right? That's ultimately mercy, man. Because we knowing that we not seeing people go out the worst way, right? Plane crashes, car wrecks, getting killed, you know, all type of things, right? And we knowing that that's Yahweh Shem Shai judgment, right? But when they gonna fear, man. When that day come, they gonna fear badly. They gonna be scared, right? Okay, but they gonna be, man, because they gonna be brought to that judgment, right? But they gonna be brought out that darkness, man. Because Yahweh sent Yahweh Shai once already down here with the light, man. You know, and he left his comforter here, right? Through the prophets, through the apostles, through the disciples who turned into the apostles, right? You know, and now, you know, those same spirits back here today. But not only that, you know, now you got, you know, you got teachers, you got, you know, wise men in the truth, you know, the elect who get out here daily and prophesy and preach the word, but these people blatantly ignore it, right? Because why? They watching their daughters, they don't know which way to go, right? Still at verse 5, right? It said, then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The force of the Gentiles shall come unto thee, right? But I want to go right here to Proverbs 1:23, right? It says, turn ye at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make my words known unto you, right? How? Through the prophets, man. The prophets out here on the highways and byways, you know, that's kind of what Elder Pastor Gabar is going into, man. We got these talents from the Most High, right? Through the Spirit of Yahweh Shai. And we're supposed to get out here and stir up. We're supposed to get out here and teach the word. You know, get out here and bring to remembrance, right? Don't you know? Matter of fact, what's in 1 Peter? Or it might be 2 Peter. Yeah. 2 Peter 1, verse 13, right? Verse 13, right? It says, I think it meet, as long as I'm in this tabernacle, right? As long as I'm in this body, right? To stir you up by putting you in remembrance, right? So long as we in this body, right? No one needs flesh body. We're gonna continue to stir up, bring you to remembrance. Hey, you Hebrew Israelite, return back to Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, we out here stirring up. Hey, that's not the name of the Father or the Son. The name is Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh the Father Bahashem, in the name the Son Yahweh Shai, right? We out here to stir up, bring you to remembrance in the land of our captives. What He told us was gonna happen. We're gonna come to remembrance, right? But our nation repeatedly and refusely just ignore it and walk in darkness, man. You know, and it shows, right? That's why people so confused out here. They don't know where to go, man. You know, people leaving the churches to go back to the church. Leave this church, go to another church. Oh, I ain't like the way that pastor was trying to talk. Oh, I ain't like the way when I was in that congregation, they used to look at me. They used to talk about it. You know, because it ain't nothing true for going on in there. It's all deceitful lies and confusion, man. They don't know whether they want to be out here or they want to be in the church. Even though it don't mean nothing, you know. But when you come in this truth, it's one way, man. This truth is one way, you know. Through the spirit of Yahawashi, you know, you gonna walk under the spirit, and when you under the spirit, you're not under the law. But you people choose to walk in darkness, man. Right? Let me see. Right? Matthew 5, starting verse 14, right? It says, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on the hill cannot be hid." It's like a city that is set on the hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel. Don't try to hide this talent, man. Don't try to hide the spirit. How about y'all shine good? Shine forth, man. Shine bright. Let them see the marvelous work that Yahweh Shem Shai doing in you. You know, get out here on the highways, byways, teach, stir up, do the will, do the works, man. Bring light to the dark kingdom, right? As you read in Revelation 16:10, right? It says, "But on the candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven," man. Right? So we bringing light to the dark kingdom, man. That's what the elect out here doing. Because it's full of darkness, man. We out here teaching, doing the work, because the you know, when the men, you know, men, the elect, they gonna see this thing and return back. You gonna have some weak people always scoffing and mocking these lights because they love the darkness, man. They don't know which way to go. They won't be able to focus on this path, man. They ain't built for it. So of course they're gonna, you know, if anything that somebody can't do, right, they're gonna always talk about it. Oh, they ain't even all that. Oh, how y'all gonna say y'all chose? Because they ain't built for it, man. You know? But understanding, you know, understanding wisdom and the beginning of wisdom is fear. So understanding, you know, Yahweh Shem Shai, his power, understanding that it's in us to return back to Yahweh Shem Shai, right? To get out of the darkness so that we can see, so we know what steps we're taking, right? Let me see. Matthew 15:14 to all y'all watching Yahweh Shai. Right? Let's start at verse 13, right? Matthew 15:13, but he said, well, I'll start at verse 12, right? It says, "Then came his disciples and said unto him, Knowest that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? But he answered and said, Every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up." Right? All these false ways, it's gonna be exposed, man. It's gonna be pulled up, man. It's not bringing forth good fruit. It's gonna be cast out, man. Matthew 13:47, right? The bag gonna be cast away, right? Actually, man, I go this in the NLT, man. That's really powerful right there, man. Every plant that my Father had not planted gonna be rooted up. Why? Because you got all these false ways, all these false doctrines going around, all these false prophets, all these people, you know, deceiving the people, right? And destroying them, right? That shit gonna be cast out. Shit gonna be exposed, man. That shit gonna be pulled up out the ground. Because that's not what Yahweh Shem Shai plant. We plant righteous fruit. If I say I want to plant oranges right here, right? And you come right here and I go out there and I see apples growing, but this is my oranges garden. I'm gonna pull that apple up. I don't want that growing here. That's not, you know? Let's see. Yahweh Shai replied, "Every plant not planted by my heavenly Father will be rooted up." Right? Kind of say the same thing, right? So ignore them. They are blind guides leading the blind, right? And if one blind person guides another, they will both fall into a ditch, right? Because why? They don't have the light, man. They don't know where they're going. You know? We the children of light, man. So we got this light. We got to shine. We got to shine. You know, the other people, they walk in dark. They walk out the ways of darkness, man. You know? They fall out the ways of Babylon, right? Doing these things, right? One precept I like to bring out, right? Micah 3, right? It says, "And I said, Hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of Israel. Is it not for you to know judgment? Right? He gave his laws and statutes to Israel. Right? He gave us these laws and commandments. Right? So it's not for you to know judgment, not for you to know these things, it's not for you to separate the clean from unclean. But it says, who hate the good, you hate the prophets. You hate the teachers, you hate the elect, the men of the Lord. Right? And love the evil, you love the ways of Babylon, man. Love the white man. They love all these other nations. They love Islam. They love all these things, right? Who pluck their flesh from out their bones, who pluck the skin from off them and pluck the flesh from off their bones, right? The melting pot, right? Because we know Ezekiel chapter 37, Ezekiel prophesied that the bones were brought together through what? Through the knowledge, through the truth. Yahweh Shai giving them the understanding, put that life into them through these scriptures, through the spirit of Yahweh Shai. But they walk in darkness, so they don't got like they dead bodies, man, all over. Walking straight into destruction, don't even know it. They can't see because it's in darkness, man. You know, Most High put that spirit of sleep on them. You know, when you sleep and your eyes closed and you can't see, try to close your eyes and walk forward. You know, it's like you trying to grab all over. You know what I'm saying? You know the fact. Deuteronomy 28. Let me see. Deuteronomy 28, right? It says, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in the darkness, man. You know? Let me show you what this word grope means, man. To search or feel around blindly, often in the dark, or meaning lack of knowledge or guidance, man. Come on, man. Right? It says, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Right? You see this? At noonday. It's light outside. It's down there. It's 4:50 p.m. right now, and it's light outside. But these people still walk around in darkness. Still walking around groping, trying to figure out where they gonna go, trying to figure out their next step. Because they in darkness. But when you come to these scriptures, you come to the light, the spirit gonna lead you wherever you need to go. Most Yahweh Shai gonna take you where what next step you need to take, man. Right? Because the spirit gonna lead you. Put your Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, man. Right? Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. You know? Trust in the Lord with all thine ways, acknowledge him, you know, worth paraphrasing. You know, and he shall direct your path, man. But these people, they in darkness, man. You know? They fall after their own ways, fall after their own lusts, right? Doing the things that Babylon set for them to do, right? Let me see. I'm gonna just word search the word darkness, right? See precepts have coming up, right? Come on now. They're talking about Esau right here, right? Job 5 and 12, right? He said he disappointed the devices of the crafty. It was at Esau, so their hands cannot perform the enterprise. They had to take up all the lands to build an enterprise, man. All right, I got it right here in my notes, man. Right? They have an enterprise, right? The enterprise goes all the way back to the Renaissance. You know, their goal was to gain control of the whole world. They needed a place to establish it, right? They need to take over everything, right? It says, to launch that new world order, that America was the reason, that was the reason, it goes to Christopher Columbus. The reason he was sitting over here, they want to establish their enterprise, so they needed a place to start it at, right? He said, he takes the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of their froward is carried here alone, right? They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as night, right? He saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty, right? But you see right here, Most High got them trapped in darkness, right? And he said they meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night, and this their kingdom, and you falling out the ways of their kingdom. What you think you doing, man? What ways you think you walking in? That's why I say, man, people gotta return back, man. These people walk in darkness and they don't even see it, right? Because they so caught up in these ways, so caught up in the ways of Babylon, so caught up in the ways of Esau Edom, man. They can't even see right? That they walking in darkness, man. Right? One more quick precept. Psalms 82:5 talking about Esau again, right? I'm gonna get one more precept and matter of fact, right here. Isaiah 5:20, right? We can end it right here, right? Wasn't gonna be no long lessons. We want to get one there before I start getting ready for work, right? Isaiah 5:20 says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil," right? That put darkness for light and light for darkness. That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent their own sight. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine and men of strength to mingle strong drink, man. Right? And we can finish off in the NLT, man. Again, man, the Most High told Esau, Psalms 82:5, right? They'll walk in darkness. They're gonna walk in darkness. They'll never be able to get close they'll never be able to receive the knowledge and the understanding to receive, the understanding to get close to the Most High, right? Psalms 82:5, right? And I should have really brought that out as I was looking at the word darkness, but it's the point, and I read Job, and I read that Job so you can see the Most High got them walking in darkness, and you see a lot of Jake. They walk after Esau Edom. They do the things Esau, like these man-made religions, Christianity, things of that nature, all these customs, all these holidays, all these ways. If the Most High put them in darkness and you following after them, where you think you walking? You walking in darkness, man. These 2/3 are walking in darkness. You know what I'm saying? And we know that Yahweh Shai, he came to bring light to the world. And he light is what? This light is what? These scriptures, understanding this knowledge is truth, right? If he bring that light to us, right? It's for us to understand it and return back to Yahweh Shai, to walk in light, to be children of the light. But you people are rather walk in darkness, man, walking out the ways of Esau Edom, man. I say, man, we're enough of this right here, though. So I get right for work, Lord willing, right? It says, "What sorrow for those who say that evil is good and good is evil, that dark is light and light is dark, that bitter is sweet and sweet is bitter. What sorrow for those who are wise in their own eyes and thinking themselves so clever. What sorrow for those who are heroes at drinking wine and boast about alcohol, all the alcohol they can hold." Right? Actually, let me see. I know what I want to end off with. Bear with me. Let me see. I said John 8:12. I know it's in the book of John. John chapter 8. Right? And all right. So I started verse 10, right? And I actually brought this out in the lesson the other day as well. But it's a good in the precept, right? It says, when Yahushua had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said to her, "Woman, where are those thine accusers? Had no man condemned thee?" She said, "No man, Lord." And Yahushua said to her, "Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more." Then spake Yahushua again to them, saying, "I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have light of life," man. Right? The light of life is what? These knowledge, this truth, this understanding. Right? Being able to return back to Yahushua, not being caught up in this darkness, this dark kingdom, and it's going to be destroyed, man. It's going to be done away with, right? So, man, get out that darkness, man. And these 2/3, they blatantly walk in darkness, man. Once again, brought out precept to show you that Yahushua, I showed you how Revelation 16:10, right? This kingdom is darkness, right? I showed you how they brought the precept out And Job, right? Because they needed it. When Christopher Columbus coming over here, they confused you with thinking that he just found the land. No, he came over here because what? They needed a place to start their enterprise. They needed a place to start. They needed a place to start their wicked kingdom, their enterprise, man. Goes all the way back to the Renaissance, right? But then after they get over here, now it's Babylon represent confusion, right? So now this place is just a place of confusion, right? But then the Most High also told them in Psalms 82, right, verse 5, right, that they should walk in darkness. They'll never be able to understand the light and knowledge, even what they was cursed with, right? That spirit goes all the way back to the serpent in the garden when he was cursed, man. That shall be cursed with dust, right? That dust is confusion. They'll never be able to understand the true knowledge, to be able to know and get close to Yahweh outside, to see the light, man. They always gonna walk in darkness, man. That's why we should know the light, for us to understand and get out that darkness, man, to us to walk on the righteous path, the straight gate, man. But Lord willing, this was edifying. Lord willing, I know it's a quick one, but Lord willing, we get another lesson soon. Hopefully I can get one in on my break. So with that being said, I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the whole flesh start with 144.